Hi everyone. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, well, you can't be new because I have it set for subscribers only. So hey subscribers. How are you guys doing today? Let me turn this music down just a tad. Um Sorry if you guys have been seeing the screen pop up some like stuff or whatever. I don't know, restreams being a butt, so like I kind of have to toggle between Restream and YouTube to see the comments now, which sucks. All right, welcome to the queue, guys. Hi, Saxena. Hopefully that's okay if I use the last name. Oh yes, thank you, Luke. Use my tip links if you would like a little bit more detail. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I'm going to start with the community read. As always, I'm using my Citadel Oracle deck. And for those of you who have not been on my Discord, I'm so excited. I'm using the Night Visions Tarot. I just got it. I've been looking for a pairing for this deck for like quite a while. Welcome guys. All right, I'm gonna get started with our community read. Let's see what our first card is. Let me scoot these over. Ooh. So I did a video playthrough of this, and I remember this card. That playthrough actually helped me like really get to know this deck a lot better. So we pulled the Masquerade. Let me just pull the next card. Usually I talk through the cards as I pull them, but this one I kind of want to like see what we get all together and how things play together. All right, the next one is the Sentinel. And let's pull one card. Thank you. I really like these cards. Saxana. One more. Let's see. One more card for the community. All right. The Shepherd. So we have the Masquerade, we have the Sentinel, and then we have the Shepherd. The Masquerade, I feel like the video is really behind. So if it is, I'm super sorry, guys. Sassy, please don't put your question in the chat before I ask for it. Use !join to join the queue. Luke will get you helped out. So for our community read, we have the Masquerade. This says hiding your true self. This is a projection of oneself. So this is literally wearing a mask, putting on a mask, and like hiding who you really are from everyone. And I like, one of the things I like about this is like you can see the hands painting on the images of the mask. So this is more so like, I feel like this is more of an intentional thing that you're doing, and this is a way to protect yourself. So I feel like this is something that is going on in one way or another as a community. The next card we have is the Sentinel. This is determination and certainty. So it almost feels like wanting to break out of having to wear this mask and being able to show who you are as your true self and standing in your conviction. If you look at this card, it feels very victorious, very confident. It has a lot of that confident energy. And there's Latin on here, but I don't know Latin. It says amor fati. I know amor is love. Fati might be self. I'm not sure. But at the center of our reading as a community, we have this need for finding confidence and being sure of ourselves. Last card here we have is the Shepherd. This is celebration, this is family. This card is just so lovely, really pretty. Sorry, my lights are a little bright, so I think you can see that quite well. Um, so I think that this is saying, like, find ways to free yourself around the people that you really care about. Being able to break free of the masks that you hide behind in order to be able to truly celebrate um, the people around you and the people you care about, your families, and so forth. So I really like this. I think this is a great reading. Today is the full moon, I think in Taurus. Let me check real quick. So this is the full beaver moon in Taurus. And my app says our moon affirmation is I make practical decisions that lead me to stability and success. So we can kind of bounce off of this reading, and take that message as you see fit. All right, let me check who all I have in the queue. Sorry, like I said, I kind of had to bounce back and forth to see who has joined, but welcome, Chelsea. And no problem, Sassy. I know a lot of people get confused because everybody does it a little differently. So in the queue, I have Izzy, Saxana, for Chelsea, and Sassy. So if you didn't hear your name, use !join and get yourself added to the queue. All right, so first up is Izzy. Go ahead and put your question in the chat. I'm going to get this deck all shuffled. I'm so excited to use this. It's quite lovely. Like, look at the beautiful foiling before I ruin it with my, like, rough shuffling and everything, and just the beautiful stark black and white of it. Absolutely love it. All right, quick shuffle here. That was not a good shuffle. Gotta get another one. That was a good shuffle. Okay, Izzy, what's coming in love for you? What's coming for Izzy? All right, next card. All right, last card. So we have the Nine of Swords, the Fool, and the Ace of Swords. So for you, I feel like it's very much of a journey first before we can start to get to that point where we can start fresh. And part of that is this Nine of Swords, being able to release whatever anxieties you have around finding love, around relationships, around being able to open yourself up to relationships. Whatever that anxiety is has to end first. This feels very much more like reverse, being able to get over that blockage in order to set yourself up for a clean slate to move forward. And I don't mean necessarily like a clean slate, like nothing has ever happened, more so that you aren't holding on to baggage and dragging that into future relationships with you. The Fool indicates very much just a completely brand new start altogether. So this indicates to me that you are going to reframe, or probably should reframe if you haven't started already, how you are tackling finding a relationship, finding a partner, how you put yourself out there, all of that. The Fool is a completely fresh start. It is the beginning of tarot. It is like that first step forward, taking a leap of faith. So this kind of indicates a little bit of thinking outside of the box and needing to just try some different things. And a lot of that means, like, as you let go of these preconceived anxieties, these things that kind of weigh you down. What is it that you want things to look like? Right. So, and if you're not looking now, that's fine. It's probably for the best with this Nine of Swords. It's not the right time. This is just talking as you start to release all of that energy. What do you want things to look like? This is your chance to reframe all of that. So, like, this is saying just because things have gone one way in the past doesn't mean they have to in the future, because you're in full control over how you reshape things. Then the Ace of Swords is indicative of whatever path you decide to go down in regards to love. If you are following this process here, you're really setting yourself up for some really good, um, really successful moments. The Ace of Swords, aces are new beginnings, just overall, regardless of the suit. This is again kind of mirroring this starting fresh kind of thing. But the thing that I like about the swords, the Ace of Swords specifically, is there's this like indication, sort of underlying feel of success. So it feels like whatever, I mentioned in this card, taking a leap of faith, whatever that step forward looks like for you, it feels very much like it's going to be a successful one, as long as you allow yourself to release whatever anxieties and preconceived notions and just straight baggage that's really weighing on you. But I like that this is ending with the ace, right? This reading is not telling me exactly what's happening, because I feel like that hasn't been decided yet, and you have full control over it. And it's like you are the director of your own destiny. You're welcome. All right. Up next, we have Saxana. Welcome to the queue, Langland. Don't forget to like this video, guys. It helps with the algorithm. Let's see what the outcome will be if you confess your love to this May Taurus. Is a May Taurus a man or a woman? Okay. Interesting. We have the Eight of Swords, we have the Empress, and then we have the World. So if you do decide to confess, I feel like that with two out of three major arcana, it's going to be really impactful to you, to your overall life, your overall like path, if you want to call it that way. Do I want to start in the middle? I'm waffling. Okay, so sorry, I had to sit and think about it. So the Eight of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords, Empress in the World. The Eight of Swords I felt was more reversed. The Eight of Swords generally is about putting your own boundaries on yourself and feeling like you're setting these like self-imposed limits and whatnot. But paired next to the Empress, and then with the World reflected, it feels very much more the like reversed energy than anything. So these two are both earth signs. This is air. They just kind of don't work together. So it feels very much like you probably should just go ahead and confess, because not doing so is really ultimately you standing in your own way, and it's giving that Eight of Swords upright energy where you are just setting these boundaries for yourself, setting yourself, putting yourself in this box. So the Eight of Swords is really saying, like, free yourself from these limitations that you've put on yourself, and open yourself up to doing, whatever, right? So in this case, the Empress is very much in tune with her domain. I see the Empress a lot as like, it gives very much that energy that you would get from the queens in general, but at a much higher scale and more in tuned with herself and the earth and just like the physical world around her. So the Empress is very intuitive. She's very aware of when things need to be nurtured and not nurtured. So I feel like in this case, if you're confessing your feelings, I feel like this is saying you very much know when is and isn't the right time to do it. So I feel like this is overall a green light to do it. But then this is saying like pick the right time, right? Um maybe finesse the situation a little bit until you feel like things have worked out in a way that the person is receptive to what you might be, your May Taurus is receptive to what you are saying to him. The thing about Taurus is there's a lot of earth energy here, which is another reason I feel like this is very much a green light. The thing about Taurus is in general, if you come on too fast or too hot, they can like shut down. They'll just be like, nah, nah, I'm out. So it feels very much like slow and steady kind of thing. And being the Empress in the center of this, it almost feels like let this happen naturally. So what I will say is yes, but a caveat in terms of your question. So yeah, you can do it, but I don't think now is the right time to do it. The World card indicates that the results of this are a little nebulous. It feels very much like give it time. And I feel like once you feel like that the time is right, once you feel like things are kind of settling in and things are almost becoming obvious, because what's obvious to you is generally not obvious to a Taurus. So once things start to become blaringly obvious, I would recommend coming back and like reassessing the overall situation. But at the same time, I don't even think you need to come back. With the Empress here, that you are really truly in charge of like your own domain, how you are nurturing the connection between you and your May Taurus, and really ultimately knowing what's right for the both of you. So there's a little bit of trusting yourself in there that that has to happen. Hey, welcome, Marshy. Hi, Dorella. All right, for you are up next. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. Are you guys doing anything fun for the full moon? Sure. All right, general message from Spirit for 4. One more. Ooh, this is a really sweet message. Okay. So you have the Star, the 9 of Cups, and then the Wheel of Fortune. You're welcome, Saxana. Feel free to hang out and chat and enjoy some other readings. If not, make sure you like the video so other people can find me. Ruby, that is such a good point too. Like there's also a relief there that happens that might be also something I wasn't quite seeing in the 8 of Swords. I love when other readers join my chat so we can like bounce ideas. Okay, so 4 for you. Spirit has a Star, 9 of Chalices or Cups, and then the Wheel of Fortune. So this feels like a really just sweet message overall. I'm going to start with the middle of your reading because it's your only non-major arcana, and then we'll kind of look at the edges of your reading. So this to me feels like very much the heart of your reading, and then these feel like more the long-lasting, impactful parts of your reading because they are majors. So The Nine of Cups, it's to me, anytime I see the Nine of Cups pop up, it very much gives me like the wishes granted kind of feel. So this is where you start to hit that mark of starting to feel very emotionally fulfilled. And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, you're on the cusp of that if you haven't started to feel it already, or it's within your reach. Within your reach feels very much more correct based off of a few things. So it feels very much like this is something that's on the horizon where you can feel like, and I don't know if you could see it down there, but hold on, let me switch screens so I can see. So this person is just lounging on a chair, seemingly in a park, just relaxing under the stars or the sky in a tree. I feel like this is saying, like, Spirit is just like, there's going to be a point coming soon where you can just sit back and relax, enjoy the things around you, connect with things emotionally. Um, and really, it just feels very much like the pressure is melting off kind of situation. So I mentioned that this card gives me how I relate this card is very much like the wishes granted. Well, the star card is also that, but more impactful. So this is where it feels very much like where in the now or the soon to be now, this is the energy that you have, but it feels very much like the star is transcending a lot of this like near future. So this is something that's going to start to settle in, and I feel very much like it, like Spirit is saying, hey, you're going to start to recognize um the periods that feel right for you and you're happiest, and you're going to become more comfortable in that zone, and it'll be easier long term to find that zone. Even in those periods of chaos, you'll be able to find those periods where you can just sit down and relax and feel like emotionally connected with whatever it is you need to feel connected with, whether it be yourself, your friends, your family, etc. Right. And then on the other side, the Wheel of Fortune just reminds us that yes, this is saying like these good things are coming. Just remember that overall life is a cycle. Things are might be fortunate now, things might not be fortunate now, but everything comes in turn, and just take things in stride. It's just a reminder. I would say this is like a long-term reminder, not something that's necessarily like licking at your heels or anything, but this is just a reminder from Spirit to just say like sometimes you have to go with the punches, and then other times enjoy the good moments. And it's okay to enjoy the good moments. There's no reason to, I know like sometimes people feel guilty when things are going right or they feel nervous. Enjoy those moments because we all, I mean, we're human, right? Life is life. We all go through ups and downs. So Spirit just really wants to be like, you have a period that's going to be really nice for you. Don't overthink your way out of it. Um, but I think overall, this is a really sweet message. Just a reminder. I think everybody needs this reminder from time to time. Just a reminder that, life has its ups and downs. And when things are going well, don't disregard it. Enjoy it. You're allowed to enjoy it. So I never got into the light visions. I've only had the Prisma visions. So to me, this is like the exact opposite of Prisma visions, Ruby, where like Prisma visions is so colorful and vibrant. And then this one is very much more like the devil's in the details kind of thing. You're welcome for. Like this card has a lot of like little intricate details happening. Prisma Visions does too. It has the same details, but you don't have to focus on them as much, in my opinion, because the colors tend to take a lot of precedence. All right, Chelsea, you are up next. So let me read off who I have in the queue. I have Sassy after Chelsea. I have Langland, Darella, and then Marshy. I am using the new deck. I'm really excited. I also really like it. Marshy, technically, I started on Instagram. I started doing lives, and I realized the interface for Instagram is not conducive for what I'm looking for. So I transitioned over to YouTube. And then I really enjoyed, I kind of had already sort of haphazardly done YouTube videos, not live streams. And I just decided, like, I'm going to buckle down and do it. But I technically started on Instagram, and I realized Instagram doesn't cater to the long form stuff that I really enjoy doing. But if you want to talk about it more, yeah, we can definitely go over to to Discord, because um Robin is on Robin's Reflections, Ruby. They are also on um YouTube, and they have their own journeys as well. Let's see how your meeting with your job coach on Wednesday is going to go. It's nice that you have a job coach. I have to imagine it's really helpful overall. Let's see, next card. Oh, okay. You have the Three of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, and the Emperor. So a few things actually. I think that overall your appointment is gonna go really well. Um Hi Dorella. Um so sorry, I was waffling on where I wanted to start. I'll just go in order. It feels a little bit like there might be, you have the Three Cups. The threes sometimes indicate like another person involved, and not person. Like it doesn't have to be a person, but another party, I'll say, is involved, and it almost makes me feel, paired with this Nine of Pentacles, makes me feel like maybe there is a company that your coach is going to want you to look into, or has, or will recommend you to, or something like that. I don't know. I really don't know the nuances of a job coach, but like, I don't know that they can apply for you, but I feel like they are going to set you up for a really good opportunity, whatever that company or party or job may be, because you have the Nine of Pentacles in the center of your reading here. This is really the card of luxury. So to me, that indicates like, especially when we're talking about jobs, finances, and career, this very much indicates that you have some financial improvements coming along that you can kind of enjoy, whether that be a promotion or a new job altogether that pays well or has better experience. It doesn't always have to be financial. It can also be like a better stepping stone for you. Or it can even be like it feels much more like ultimately a stepping stone / promotion thing. But just because I'm rambling, it can also just be indicative of like skills and stuff like that. So I feel like this is going to be a really fruitful appointment for you. The Emperor really indicates to me that you are going to have some homework to do, whether that be applying for jobs or researching something in that company that leads to an application, or it could be networking, that kind of thing. Like networking feels a little less likely, but maybe slightly involved. So I feel like overall it's going to go well. Now I'm really curious. You'll have to come back next week and let me know. Let me know how it goes, Chelsea. But I wouldn't worry about it. Just know that you will have some work that you need to put in with this Emperor here. There's going to be something that your coach is going to be expecting from you in order to move forward and kind of reap these rewards. Yeah, you're welcome, Chelsea. Luke I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, I'm now mixing you and Luke up. Marshy, I think you can just heart freely. So you can like heart stuff in the chat and then you can like the overall video. And I think they're separate, but I'm not gonna lie. I don't know that actual nuance on YouTube. All right, Sassy, you are up next. Yeah, I've thought about briefly like going back to Instagram a little bit, but I like being able to record on my PC and have my camera and my whole setup, and I just like it better. Okay, also, let me know, guys, is the video very delayed from the audio, like severely, or am I just seeing sort of like, because I'm looking at the back end of YouTube and it almost looks like it's a good like 15-20 seconds behind. Whoops. All right, let's see, Sassy. Okay. All right. So I'm going to assume it's something in the back end of YouTube. It's just like my view. Thank you, guys. All right, Sassy, let's see what your love interest would look like. So I'm guessing like things like characteristics and like their character, personality, stuff like that. Let's see. I love how these cards shuffle. They have this coating that just like it's just my brain in the right spots. Okay. I'm not personally very good with finding features, and I don't think this deck caters to that, but I can see characteristics, personality, and stuff like that. So we have the Five of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Magician. One second. Thank you for understanding. So let's see here. I'm trying to think back to my elementals here, right? So Pentacles is Earth. I'm trying to remember my majors. I'm pretty sure the Magician. No, I know the Hermit. I know the Hermit for sure is Earth because I relate very much to the Hermit. And then the Magician is, I'm going to look it up real quick. Magician is air. Okay, let me just read through this and see what starts to kind of come out. So the Five of Pentacles is an interesting card because it you guys, if you've been following me for a bit and if you've been in my live streams, I don't like to give bad news, but I will also always read what I see in the cards. So the Five of Pentacles is giving broke, and it worries me. And then this feels reversed. So I feel like you should be careful of someone coming into your life in the way that I'm about to describe them, because this feels very much like a big red flag in a lot of ways. So the Five of Pentacles is usually about like being down on your luck in terms of resources, whether that be your home life, your finances, your job, something like that. And the caveat with the Five of Pentacles is that there is help available, but they're not utilizing that help. So it's like the person is almost intentionally allowing themselves to be in that situation. So the Five of Pentacles is definitely giving a little bit of broke energy to me. The Hermit very much gives an introvert sort of. So someone who's a little bit more introverted, they might keep to themselves, and therefore it might be hard to fully see all of the facets of them. And they might be because of that, they might be good at putting on a specific part of themselves that they know attracts people to them for whatever reason. In this case, I feel like it could be because, thank you, Robin, for clarifying. Thank you. The magician is air. Um, so the magician, I reversed him because we have the earth, they have air, they don't play well together. The magician in reverse can be a little bit of a con artist. So I would just be weary of people that, mm, or anyone that is coming into your life that is giving off airs that don't seem to match with the reality of what you're seeing, right? Yeah, but definitely it does feel very much more so earth energy, and then maybe like an air placement in some regard. I will say the astrology side of things is very much like, I'm still very much in the adjustment phase. I'll put it with the astrology side of things. But yeah, I don't blame you, Sassy. That is absolutely a loser. So, but I will say I feel like this is coming up because I feel like the magician in reverse is a very charming person who's very aware of how they can get one over on people. So it's almost like keep your feelers up a little bit. Notice any red flags. If you start to see indications of these things, then just very much be careful and protect yourself. So, yeah, I think this is probably the nearer thing that's coming to you, which is probably why it's being highlighted. And you just make sure to avoid this before you move on to, anything else. No, Robin, are you asking if these are glossy? These are not. They have like a coated matte finish, like slightly satin. Exactly. No scrubs. Yeah, sorry, Sassy. I feel like that's such a bleh. It's like a bum answer, but it's always nice to get warnings about stuff, in my opinion. You're welcome. Hey, Unicorn, welcome to the queue. All right, Langland, you're up next. Go ahead, put your question in the chat. Sassy, good luck. You'll have to let me know how things pan out. So I totally forgot today was like Robin, that's what I was thinking. Well, I was like, oh, look at that. Look at people knowing TLC. And I'm like, I'm not the only old person today. I know it makes me want to, if it wasn't copyrighted, I would like love to just play that right now. All right, Langland. If you pop back into the queue, you can rejoin. Darella, go ahead. You are up next. Yeah, I like that. I like how you frame that, Ruby, where like, not everything has to be the end all be all, but it could be like a very important life lesson that sets us up for the right person. Um oh gosh, Aaliyah, that haven't she was trending a while ago with like interview with a vampire popping up. So I'm really liking this deck. I think that I'm gonna use it for my next like not 1999. I got oh my gosh. 1999? That's crazy. I don't like that. Let's just say it came out last year. All right, Marshy, go ahead, put your question in the chat. Dorella and Langland, if you rejoin, you're welcome to rejoin the queue. Let me see. TLC. My God, 1999. It's crazy. I know. I don't even want to talk about it, Robin. It makes me mad. Oh, okay, Marshy. Let's see what good things are coming to you this week. Oops. Oh gosh, Butterfingers. All right. You had it on cassette? I remember making a mixtape once from the radio of a few different songs. Like I had a boombox, like a stereo system in my childhood bedroom, and I would make so many mixtapes. I had the Spice Girls on cassette, an A and B side. Okay. Marshy, let's see what good things are coming. You have the Hanged Man, the Four of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. Ooh, okay. So I'll just start in order, right? So the Hanged Man is the card of like new perspectives, but it's also meaning that you're going to give up something, but it doesn't necessarily need to be something bad. So although it is generally a sacrifice, so it might not necessarily feel good at the time, but ultimately I think you're going to feel that it was what was best. It was the right decision for you. So whatever that thing is that you're giving up, in the center of your reading, my office manager Luna is here to let me know that I have been on live stream too long. Hi. So at the center of your reading, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is really like where Tarot is saying like to really hunker down and conserve your resources. It could be your time, your finances, stuff like that. It could be a combination of all of them. So I feel like if you're not in this hunker down phase, right, where you're not in that conserving phase, that could be the thing that you're sacrificing. So that could mean like not going to a concert you wanted or not going to dinner you wanted because it's about, for whatever reason, this is about putting yourself first and giving yourself the time and focus. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Yeah. She wants to jump up so bad, but won't. Hi, Whimsically. Come on, jump up. So, anyways, she's being a nudge. So here we have the Page of Swords, right at the end of everything. This is the card that is really exciting because I feel like pages are like the indicator of messages coming towards us. So I feel like in sacrificing this, being able to hunker down a little bit and conserve time, you're going to see signs or messages that things are starting to fall into place. The thing about fours, so The Four of Pentacles to me always reminds me a little bit of the twos where there's about balance. But in terms of the Four of Pentacles, it feels more like because you are being conservative with your resources, things are starting to fall into place. And just because you sacrifice that one thing that might have seemed really fun or exciting to do, ultimately you're going to start to see things fall into place for you because of that. And I think that being able to see things a little more clearly in that way is really going to open up your mind to um, whatever other messages are waiting for you. So it feels I'm sorry. These songs are a whole adult. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Come here, Luna. Come on. Ugh. Okay, there we go. She's on my lap, y'all. Say hi. She's my precious little baby. So I think you have some interesting things happening, Marshy. Ending with the Page of Swords feels very much like there's more to come. So like stay tuned kind of thing. And once things start to fall into place, it almost feels like a puzzle piece that's starting to shape and form before your eyes. Dorella, you will have to rejoin. I had called a few times, so just feel free to rejoin the queue. Yes, Luna, I know. Unicorn, you are up next, followed by Whimsically, and then Dorella, you will be after that. Ooh, let's see what manifestations you can expect soon. Sorry for being Butterfingers in advance. When Luna's on my lap, it's hard to shuffle. Let's see what kind of manifestations you have. Let's see. Next card. Ooh, I think these are the first repeat cards of the night. Robin, she's also just a chatty catty. So she'll like, see? She'll just kind of like talk to talk. She talks because it's a day that ends in Y. So you have the Fool, the Hermit, and then the Knight of Cups. I feel like there's still a little time before whatever manifestations are coming to fruition, and then you have a few more actions to take before. Are you trying to manifest something romantic with a specific person? So the Fool makes it feel like I'm not sure how. I feel like I feel like we've had this discussion maybe previously in another reading, where it was saying to reassess how you're manifesting. This feels very reminiscent, and this also feels like it's kind of a continuation of that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the Fool feels very much like you might have had a bit of a false start, and you need to reassess how you're doing your manifestations or what you are manifesting. Because I wonder if it's not quite right for you. The Hermit is really indicative of like needing to reflect inwardly about the things that you were looking for. So in this case, reflect inwardly on your manifestations. These are your major arcana. This is really, I think, an important step that's happening. This sound feels very vaguely familiar. I'm so bad at remembering everybody's readings from week to week, so I apologize in advance, but I think this is really a sign that you need to do a little more self-reflecting before you can get to what it is that you're hoping comes to fruition. The reason I asked if you're trying to manifest a person or not was because of this Knight of Cups. So I'm trying to discern if this Knight of Cups is a person coming into your life or if this is a phase of your manifestation. And it feels a little nebulous in that regard. So I'm just going to pause for a second and see if you respond to that. Luna has spoken. Alrighty, guys. I am closing the queue, but everybody in it is in it, so don't worry. Hey, Sab, welcome. Welcome to the queue. Okay. So, Luna, Robin says hey. She says hey. So I see then the Knight of Cups is just that you're still... All right, let me backtrack. So it's saying that I feel like maybe you need to pause a bit and reset. Because with the Hermit being in the middle of your reading, I wonder if you've spread yourself a little thin and this is like a call to prioritize. So that way you can put more actionable things. So this very much then, based off of your feedback, feels more so like an actionable thing that you need to do in the phase of your manifestations. So if you want to get to the point where your manifestations start to activate, I think you need to reset and maybe set some levels of prioritization. And what that can look like is if you have a lot of things in work, go back and reset, figure out what it is that is important to you. Maybe like, I don't know, I would say maybe 2 or 3 things. Focus on those things, let them kind of come to fruition, and then go back and work on the other things. Like if there's something that's time sensitive, something that has been going on for way too long and you're wanting to, work on a resolution to that, stuff like that. Find your prioritization, focus inwardly, what's most important for you, and then start to put some actionable steps towards it. I feel like this is going to be a combination of what's the most impactful to you combined with what you're most emotionally invested in. So if I feel like as I'm talking, a lot of times I tell my clients that as I'm talking, things are going to start to come to mind. Even though I might not be able to pick them out specifically, you are doing the picking out, and you can, Luna, and you can go ahead and make some actionable things. So usually in a client reading, this is the point where we talk, we kind of dive a little deeper on something. Like this is almost where I would either dive deeper on the Hermit or I'd dive deeper on the Knight of Cups, depending on what that conversation leads to. But I feel like in your case, Unicorn, I don't think you're necessarily doing anything wrong. I just worry that you might be pushing the limits of what it is you're able to manifest at this all at once. Yeah, so that's actually not totally uncommon unicorn, where people manifest things they don't necessarily intend to, and it's because they put a lot of focus on it, subconscious or consciously. And that's why people tend to think they're cursed all the time, because they have been focusing on something negative really, really hard, and it is starting to manifest, and then they're worried someone cursed them, and then the cycle continues. So that's more in the negative of that aspect. But in the positive, people that feel like, oh, I'm having some good luck, or I've gotten something really good, and they're kind of riding this high, things start to really go well for them. It's the same kind of thing. So I think having too many pots going at once divides your focus. All right, whimsically, go ahead, put your question in the chat. But I will say, just to caveat, unicorn, I'm not saying don't manifest the things that you're wanting to manifest. Just prioritize and work them iteratively. Ooh, general energy. A lot of general energies, guys. I like it. All right. That's always an interesting concept. I feel like it would be cool if someone said, I manifested these characteristics and you showed up. That's cool. But if someone's like, oh, I like manifested you specifically, like, that's immediately creepy. So it depends. It depends what I think I would like. All right. General reading for what's it? Goodness, dropped a card. Let's see what kind of general energy you have around you right now. Last card. All right. Ooh, Ace of Swords popped back up. So we have the High Priestess, the Queen of Cups, and then the Ace of Swords. Same Neferu. Hopefully I said that somewhat right. My queue is closed today, but feel free to join next week. So, whimsically, I feel like right now you're entering a phase of just a near-term phase where the universe is asking you to trust in the things that are happening, allow your intuition to kind of like guide you as you go through, because with the High Priestess and the Queen, both of them are very intuitive. The High Priestess exudes intuition. That is all about what the High Priestess is about, just accepting, and she is in full ownership of her intuition. The Queens are also very just naturally intuitive. The Queen of Cups specifically is very intuitive about the things that bring her happiness emotionally, being in tune with herself emotionally, being able to nurture herself and others emotionally. So she is all about the emotions, being able to provide that healing energy or accept that healing energy. So I feel like this intuition is about that, being able to provide some calmness. When I think of water, especially when I look at her, it almost feels like babbling brook kind of stuff, where it feels very serene and calm. So if right now I feel like the universe is asking you, where can you find that calmness, that those moments where you can sit with yourself and feel like you can bring that healing energy in, where you feel like you are nurturing yourself in all of the right ways and feeling like you are in tune with yourself emotionally in all the right ways. And this is where you need to tap into your intuition in order to do that. I mentioned earlier with the Ace of Swords, aces are about new beginnings. So this is about maybe a journey of self where all of this about finding your nurturing moments, your intuitive moments, all of that is very much a new journey for you. And that's okay. Um, I think ultimately, I'm almost done, Luna. I think ultimately, whimsically, that with the Ace of Swords, there is this air of success that's happening. So, trust in the process. Something like this can be a little like borderlines shadow worky, but it feels very much more like self care. Like right now, this is like the universe asking you to take a moment to focus on yourself. What is it you need for self care in regards to with your own personal emotions as the theme of that? So that's something to explore. Um, Not at all. Oh my gosh, you gotta trust yourself. You definitely got to trust yourself. Like, how can you become the high priestess? What can you do to tap into that queen energy where you're trusting yourself to make the right decisions for you, where you feel like you are nurturing yourself at the right times that you need to nurture yourself, all of that. That you, because you said that, the Ace of Swords feels like the new journey is revolving around how you can get out of not trusting your intuition. What does that look like? And because of the nature of this, I feel like this journey looks more, like I said, more self care than it does shadow work. Shadow work can be really hard. And it's not for everyone, but I feel like everyone has room to invite self care in, and you can now start to take some lessons learned. Yeah, I think shadow work is less, or I'm sorry, self care is less scary than shadow work. It's also much more accessible. It's easier to do long term, in my opinion, and easier to build habits off of. So I would say the universe is saying, like, oh, okay, what tools do you need to do this? Are you consciously aware you need to do this? And maybe it's time you start doing it. All right, Dorella, can you put your question back in the chat for me? Thank you. And then last but certainly not least, we have Sab. Alrighty, Luna Bug. Okay, Luna. Dorella, I don't do third party readings, so I won't do when like so and so is feeling, what any actions some other person's gonna take. But if you'd like to rephrase that in some other way that still works for you, I'm totally down for that. See, I told you, Robin, she's just a chatty catty. I think she likes to hear herself talk. I need to set up a cat cam for you, Luna. She's like, no paparazzi. All right, I can see just overall energy between you and Tony by the end of November. Let's see what's going on there. Alrighty, first card. There we go, first card. Last card. Can you sit down? Okay. All right. She makes it very hard to shuffle. All right, last card. Here we go. So I foresee a lot of like good things for you in the end of November. You have the King of Wands, you have the Fool, and then you have the Sun card. So I'm wondering though if it'll. I think I'm overthinking this. So you said he's a Cancer. What sign are you, Dorella? There's fire energy here and then air energy. So I'm not sure. Doesn't look like this person's in the picture, but November still seems like a pretty happy month. Okay. So air, I feel like the Fool here then is representative very much of you and your journey. Maybe, I mean, he could have some fire sign in his chart, so I'll kind of read it as such. So I do feel like there will be a lot of energy throughout November that will lead to you guys reconnecting. I don't, outside of the Fool, I don't really see too much like communication. So it almost feels like you guys might just be crossing paths, is almost what it feels like, but in a good way, where it just kind of might be the catalyst, the spark for something to happen. So because fire feels very opposing to Cancer, it feels very much like this is someone else, honestly. Like if I'm being honest about this like reading, it feels very much like it's someone else. So I don't know that it's necessarily Leo, but I will describe the situation, and then if at the end of November you come back and let me know, that would be really helpful. So the King of Wands feels like a specific person that's coming in. The King of Wands is someone who is, kings are very wise and thoughtful. They're very much in control of themselves, their domains, very much has control over their lives. No, Luna. The King of Wands specifically is someone who really finds inspiration in a lot of things, very passionate about the things that they do. They tend to be like entrepreneurs or sometimes sort of artists in a way, where they kind of see the different things in life that people don't see, and they exude a lot of that, and there's this like confidence in that. And then on the other side, the Sun card is a really positive card. It's really happy, full of warmth and growth, and just, you know, when you think of the sun, you like basking in it, where it just warms you, it kind of warms the energy around you. And then with the fire between the sun and the king, it feels very much like this is moving around you, almost like it might be right now. Maybe you're not even noticing, with you in the center as the Fool. And I don't mean that like derogatory, I just mean like as the Fool card, where you're just almost like you haven't taken that step yet outside of the box that you're in order to see these things. So that's the stuff that I feel like is going to happen by the end of November. I don't know necessarily that your Cancer is going to reach out to you. Might cross paths a bit, but I feel like this person, this King of Wands, is someone who's really going to be the standout in November. So you'll have to let me know. And that's fair. We don't know everybody's placement, so we can only work with what we got, right? All right, Sab, you are up next. Last but not least, you're welcome. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for rejoining. My week has been exhausting, but I think Luna had a pretty chill week. Thank you for asking, Sab. All right, let's see what vibe you give off to people. What vibe does Sab give off to people? All right, one more card. Ooh, this is nice energy. Okay. You have the Emperor and the Empress, and then you have the Knight of Pentacles. I love the placement of this. I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out. With the Knight of Pentacles, I'm biased, is one of my favorite knights. The knights are very much action oriented, so I feel like people see that in you. But the knights, some of the knights can tend towards being very impulsive, very much just kind of giving in to their urges. But the Knight of Pentacles is not like that. They're very much focused. He has ambitions, but he knows sometimes it takes time to get to those goals. So I feel like they see that ambition in you. They see that you're action oriented. They see that you have your eyes on whatever prize that you might have and that you're willing to work towards them. You're not someone that gives off lazy. You're not someone who gives off the opposite vibe of being too impulsive and just kind of doing whatever whenever. And I feel like being at the center of your reading, that means that they feel like you give off a moderately youthful energy, but you still have enough maturity to know to slow down and focus when you need to in regard to the knight. And then on each side here, you have the Emperor and the Empress. This is really cool because they are pairs to me in tarot. Robin and Luke and everybody else who reads, you'll have to let me know what you guys think, because I feel like there are pairs sometimes in tarot, and these are one of them. It's like the obvious pair to me, where the Emperor is very much more of the paternal side of things and the Empress is very much the maternal. So I feel like you have a very balanced, like yin yang kind of energy, where sometimes if you need to based off a situation, you're very good at transitioning into the Emperor, where he is very much so the one to give rules and kind of set some structure when structure is needed. But then on the other side, when it's needed, you know how to kind of lay off the rigidity there that sometimes the Emperor can fall into, and really just relax and give compassion and nurture when the time is right. So there's this really awesome balance that happens between these two, and I think that people see that capability in you. Some people might have also been on that, like they have experienced that from you, stuff like that. I feel the same way, honestly, Sab. And what I have learned is that we tend to see the worst sides of ourselves, but people do not see that. So while you might feel that you're lazy and impulsive, other people don't see that. So it's one of the things that I have just noticed as I've gone through life, is that I can be really hard on myself, and I tend to feel the same way as you, Sab, where I'm like, oh, I've been so lazy, or like I really shouldn't have done that. I should have just really thought it through, something like that. And you probably definitely feel that way, but doesn't mean others do. So it's very interesting that it's the other side of the coin of what you're feeling. And I would say that that's probably a sign that you should reflect on that. Yeah, that's very much it. It's like the left and right brain kind of deal, where their brains is balance, or like the two faces of the same coin kind of thing. Yeah, very much so, Robin. That's true too. Knowing who to share your space with and stuff like that. Um, yeah, that comes with being, just maturing and knowing who to share your energy with. Yeah, for sure. I know it's so funny you say that, Sab, because I had that moment at work this week where I'm just like, I don't know why they hired me. I'm failing at my job, and literally my boss's boss gave me like shout out kudos at our branch meeting, and I was just like, why is this happening? So yeah, don't be so hard on yourself. I say that as someone who is also hard on themselves, and it's something that I've had to work on a lot over the years, and it's just something you have to be conscious of. It's like, as RuPaul says, the inner saboteur gets us all. Alrighty, guys, this has been really fun. Thank you, Sab, for like ending on such a really cool reading, something a little different. So I truly appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. If you guys would like to continue any discussions, feel free to join me over on Discord. You can find me and Robin and Luke, chat about tarot, divination. I'm trying to do better at finding more activities. So if there's stuff you'd like to see on Discord, come on over and let me know. And just let me know you're from YouTube, so I know you're not some rando just trying to tell me what to do with my Discord. Oh, goodness. Thank you so much for hanging out this week, Ruby. It's so nice to have you as always. And yeah, you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy the energy of the new moon. And I will talk to you guys on the flip side. Bye.